I hope your morning is actually better than mine, because actually I have to live up to the standards set before me. But it's quite great actually, because my talk actually relates a lot to what Tim has mentioned before, and also I am kind of continuing what Sir Ken Robinson has talked about in education. I am actually moving more towards the workplace. And I'm doing this from the perspective actually of my generation, Generation Y. That is also called the millennials, people that got matured about year 2000. Well, what I'm going to try to put together today is, as Deborah said, putting together Generation Y, the need of companies to innovate, and us getting into the workplace. Actually, the statistics are at the moment that about, well, in 2010, 22% of the world population, the workforce population, was Generation Y. So I think this is quite important by comparison to Generation X, which I think is about 29%, and to the baby boomers, which are 49% or 41%, I'm not really sure. We are growing fast, and it's very, very important when we get out of education and we are different from the other generations, to find a workspace that can help us, you know, thrive as we want. My presentation is no breakthrough. I mean, these things have been quite discussed in the past 10 years, I guess, but it is based on some vision and on intuition. The intuition that we are the future, and we are completely different from our parents. And this is very, very important, because I start from the premise that organizations basically have been there for a while. They have been entrepreneurial in the beginning, and they have grown. And while they have grown in numbers, they have also grown in culture. And this culture has tended actually to become a lot less flexible than it was in the beginning. And with this premise, and knowing this, we go into organizations, we find jobs, and it so happens that most of the times it's not flexible for us. It doesn't represent our generation. Well, I am here today with you to share an opportunity as well as a challenge. An opportunity because you look at us and you see that we can be in your organization, come there and innovate. And also a challenge because we need the right setting in order to do this. And what I aim, well, at the end of this speech, is to actually get you to think critically about the organizations you are working in, or you own, or you have worked with, and try to do something about it. Okay, so I'm going to try and tie innovation now with my generation. What is innovation? Well, innovation in every generation, I guess, was the point, well, the most important premise for social progress. And as every generation changes, we need something new. Innovation nowadays has started to be an exponential process. It's high-paced, it's both incremental and radical, but more so radical than ever before. Now, I just want to check around. Probably you have all, how many people in the room have actually posted job ads as an owner or a manager recently? Okay. How many people have actually applied for ads or have looked for jobs recently? In the past 5 years, let's say. Okay. Very good. Okay, how many times have you come across on the job description and job requirements for the need of innovation? Do you think many people are looking? How many of you that have posted job ads, you know, for your company or as a manager are looking for innovative people? You are, right? Okay. There are many consultants here as well. Okay, the consultants, how many times have you actually gone to do a pitch for a company or to do a briefing and you have been asked to be innovative? You have, right? Okay, do you think it's like, it's realistic sometimes that you get, you know, asked to be, not everybody is innovative, okay. as Sir Ken Robinson was saying, education is not really, you know, what it should be, and not every person, well, you grow up, okay, you're not innovative, but there is a high demand, and the offer is not as high as the demand. However, most of the times it happens that those people that are innovative get lost in organizations, and it happens with my generation, most of all, because we do not fit. Not all the time. So this innovation thing has become such a buzzword. It's a management trend. It's somehow daunting for me to know that when I go to an interview, I have to show that I'm innovative because it was asked for, you know, in the job description. Okay, there's one really great TED talk by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. Actually, he's talking about flow, but this man has actually also discovered, well, or what are the characteristics of the creative, innovative person. And most of the times they're very paradoxical in the sense that he says innovative people, creative people are both extroverted and introverted, proud and humble, rebellious and conforming, as well as responsible and irresponsible. And this puts a pressure on organizations, of course, because once you get a person like me coming into an organization, and right from the start, even from the interview, you know, is being asked, so what do you think about our organization? And you know, they just come in and feel like they own the place, basically. Like, okay, I've seen this is wrong, I have to change this. Of course, it's quite daunting because there are not really processes in place for that to happen. So if I go now into an interview and I start saying, you know, I already feel like I'm part of your organization and I want to change this and this, it can be quite scary, and it's understandable because it's different than, for example, my parents that I see they are more used to, I don't know, just follow the procedure and not question that much as I do. My generation, well, we're high achievers. We're not always that responsible, but we do feel like part of the organization. We do like to have that feeling. And as Tim was saying, you know, like as a leader, get your people, talk to them, see what their value are, see how you can increase their value so they feel part of the organization. Okay. Also, people in my generation tend to change jobs more often. Even career paths. They would go, for example, I am a management student, but I probably want to go another direction because I've seen that. I don't necessarily need to follow the path that my education set me up to, or the path, you know, that, well, I started with a couple of years back. However, also, for example, we thrive on challenge. One example that I can give you, and it's actually quite funny, there was this study done by St. Gallen University in Switzerland, and they were asking, well, as they call us leaders of tomorrow, so my generation, what they find like the most challenging sector in the industry, as in the most difficult to tackle as, you know, future employees. And 36%, the majority, actually the majority, the biggest group was saying the financial sector. And actually 29% of the whole population was saying that they want to work in the financial sector. Well, I'm part of the 71, you know, but still, I think it's a bit, people really, even if they find something challenging nowadays, they go for it. And it's great because, you know, you will have people that want to change everything, the system, you know, they want to do both incremental but more and more radical innovation. Okay, also people in my generation are not really that concerned with politics. For example, management students are even less so than the rest. And I guess it's more because, you know, they are already concerned with micro politics, not major. Okay, now I'm gonna go a bit into, well, it's great now because I can actually draw something for you. It's been this traditional view, it's been this traditional view that, you know, organizations are more compared to living organisms. Living organisms, as in, well, I'm sorry, I'm not really that good at drawing, but I'll do my best. And it's been this top-down view that managers are the brain, and then, you know, the tissues, the limbs, everything are the employees. The problem is, if you think like that, you will tend to take away thinking from your employees, which is quite scary, because how we should think about it is that the brain has different functions. And these functions, you shouldn't think as your employee as in moving the arm, the actual arm. It's not the arm, it's the process here that moves the arm. It is not, I'm saying traditional because actually, well, we're not in the Industrial Revolution period anymore, and it's not that we are just machines doing something, but post-industrial revolution has seen it. Okay, we have evolved, we are a living organism, but this living organism is action from here, and everybody has thinking, reasoning, everybody has something to say. So I'm not just the arm doing the thing. I'm actually the thinking process that puts the arm in movement. Okay. Another problem is that employees are seen, most of you are quite familiar with balance sheets, right? You know how a balance sheet looks like. Okay, where do you see employees on a balance sheet? It's just the cost, right? You do not see the value as an explicit value of an employee on the balance sheet. It's not in the assets. You can't see it. It's not directly there. You can interpret it, but it's not there. You see employees as a cost, and it's a problem because a manager, when he worries, at the end to break even or to make a profit, they see employees as a cost. And the problem is that then you have these things about downsizing and not actually realizing that the value of your employee is a lot higher. I can actually compare it to the saying that the value of a retained customer is 10 times higher than the value of a new customer. Well, I don't know exactly how much higher the value of a retained employee would be, but I would bet it's a lot more than that, because the employees that you already have tacit knowledge. They know your organization, and just like the brain makes synapses here between the areas, and you can have synergies in a company if you keep your employees and if you make them think and relate to each other. Okay, as a last point, almost. There is a need to make this fit, this high demand of innovation from both sides, because we as well are looking for innovation in companies. And we are even more demanding, to be honest, but we need autonomy. And the question is whether companies can give us this autonomy and whether we can live up to it. Because it's not only a problem that companies have, but we also, as individuals, have to live up to it. And also, from these clashing forces, this demand from both sides, actually clashing forces are a premise to innovation. And this is how we can achieve it. And I would like to leave you, well, basically with an idea of where to look for answers. And I guess in continuation of Ken Robinson's talk, we have to look for answers, not necessarily in the education system, because that takes very long to fix, but more in what, as a company, you can provide after the education system. How you can make people fit and give out their best. And I leave you with some food for thought. There are actually two questions. You have to maybe question what makes an employee give you an idea instead of him or her going out of your organization and using that idea, being entrepreneurial and being better off. How can you motivate that employee to do that? And another one, why are some organizations better than others? And we know examples of great organizations that have managed, while growing, to have an entrepreneurial spirit still inside. And with that, I thank you very much for your attention.